and welcome to the Everyday Board Game Podcast with your hosts, Daniel.
And Daniel.
And we have two special guests with us today. We have...
Dammit, Dom.
And...
GameheadGeek.
Joining us live. We're doing our top 100 right now, and thank you both for joining us. We appreciate that. It's always good to have some other people on the podcast. We love our guests. And, of course, our friends here. Many of these games are here because of you, gents. So it's good that you guys are part of this. We are reacting through our top 100 games of all time. Last episode, we just went through our 50 through 41, and now we're going to go through our 40 through 31. You guys ready to get into this?
Yep.
We already had a couple crossovers, so... Alright, we're going to start with GameheadGeek. Let's see what turn order we're going to go. Same as last week.
Alright, so my 40 is just one. Now, this is
It's not one?
Huh?
It's not one?
It's just one. But this is a great party game. I mean, I have so many inside jokes, especially because I'm a bad reader. And I remember one time I played this, I thought it said Hakuna Matata. So I was putting stuff for Lion King. And I was completely wrong. And it was a Jewish holiday.
Hanukkah.
That's what it was, yep. Mm-hmm. So anytime my friends who are Jewish have Hanukkah, they just say Hakuna Matata. So, but this is a game that, I mean, you can play, and the great thing is it comes with, for 7 people, but you could just get pieces of paper and write it down. You could play this anywhere and everywhere. It's a great game. Mm-hmm. And that's my number 40, just one.
Awesome. My number 40 is my first entry into this that has multi-use cards, something that you're quite a fan of. Although I don't think this is on your list, because I don't think you've played it, actually. It's a good question. 40. It was previously at number 22 and 14 before that, so it's dropped a little bit, but it's still... There's just so many good games on this. Never left my top 100. This is San Juan, the card game version of Puerto Rico. That's also very similar to Race for the Galaxy. But I like this better. One, it doesn't rely on colors for color blindness, so that's good. And I'm okay with Dry Dusty Euro, so I adore this game. I'm looking forward to seeing what the new version looks like that I didn't even know existed until 2 weeks ago. But yeah, it looks pretty awesome. Do you want me
to pick you up a copy? Because I'll just throw it on my Game Found.
Yeah, sure.
I think I still have open.
Sure, and I'll pitch in for the extra shipping, absolutely. Because that's the only reason I didn't buy it, is because I was like, I'm buying a $20 game and paying twice that.
No, it's literally a $15 game and you're paying $14 for shipping.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So, but good deal. San Juan, if you get a chance to go pick it up and play it, it's absolutely amazing how it works. The multi-use system just is incredible. So, there you go. My number 40.
No, you are correct. I have not played that one.
It is fantastic. I like it a lot.
We'll fix that sometime.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when I get my copy of San Juan.
Yep. There you go.
So, alright, my number 40 is a fairly new game, actually. I think it's been out about a year and a half now. Maybe it might have been 2 years. It is Tribes of the Wind.
Oh, okay. I've since bought a copy.
I own a copy too, so another Dammit Dom game. It did make my list, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that is a Dammit Dom for me. Well done, sir.
So, Tribes of the Wind is, it was great because the cards are multi-use, but not in the way you would normally think of a multi-use cards. You're playing off of your neighbor's cards, or possibly everybody at the table's cards, to gain actions. So you play action. You're almost guaranteed one action, and then the other action is going to be better if everybody else at the table or your neighbors match that color, and depending on how many they have. And it's got a cool little tile laying thing as well, where you're making patterns, and then moving out your different cities and things like that. So that's my number 40, Tribes of the Wind.
Yeah, very cool system. I like using other people's cards. It's great.
All right, so my number 40, I ended the last episode with the Phil Walker Harding. I'm starting this episode with a Phil Walker Harding. It's one that's been on my list both times we've done this before. It went as high as 30. It dropped to 54 last time. Now it's back up to 40, and it's just because I've been playing it a little bit more, not much more. And it's just because of the modular capability of it. It's a small little card game that I keep in a photo box. This is Archaeology: The New Expedition. I do dig this game. I love archaeology theme. I love the artwork in this game and how quick it plays and how different each game plays based on which modular board you're using, in a sense, a tile, I guess. If you're doing the pyramid, you have 3 different sections you're going into. If you're doing a statue, there's like maybe 2 different things you're digging into. And I love the fact that you're using the cards as your currency as well. We were talking about it with San Juan earlier. But you're also using them for your points. So if they're in front of me, they become my points, and you're trying to get set collection as well. It's a fantastic game. I dig this one. I don't see it going anywhere out of my top 100 because we just play it so often.
Cool. Good choice. Number 39.
39. This is, again, another hard cooperative, but I love this game. And this, again, was another one I thought would have been a little bit higher, but after doing that, it says it should be 39, and that is Burgle Bros.
Oh, wow.
Playing the solo and I played this game a lot when I first got it. I even have like 3D printed stuff to fit in my box, so it makes it easy for organization. But it is just an amazing game as you go through trying to get past lasers, locked doors, and even cops or security guards, which can then potentially like make you fall, all sorts of stuff. It's insane, especially how much they move. And you're like, guys, someone needs to move me or do something with that security guard, or I'm gonna get caught, and then it's over. So, there's a lot of discussion in this one, and that is Burgle Bros.
I'm surprised this is in your top 10.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be like at least top 20.
See, I thought it was going to be higher too, but my top 10 makes sense what my top 10 is. But I was at least thinking at least teens or 20s, but I didn't think it'd be this low, but it was.
You must hate it. All right, so...
it's got to be the horrible.
Yeah, it's got to be trash. My number 39 has climbed from 67 last time and 88 the previous time, and I'm still surprised it's kind of as low as it is, knowing how much I do enjoy this game. This is a 2-phase bidding game. This is for sale. I love this game. First round of auctions, you're bidding on the houses that you're buying for cheap, hopefully, and then you take those houses and flip them, trying to get the most profit. I just think it works so well. For sale has just always been in my collection, and even though I haven't really played it all that much in the previous times, it just keeps climbing and climbing. So my number 39.
All right. My number 39 is definitely a Dammit Dom game. Everybody I've introduced this game to has gone out and bought it. It is a cooperative.
And me too?
I think you might have, actually.
I'm curious. No.
5-Minute Mystery. If you haven't, it's always...
I considered it.
Yeah.
I had 5-Minute Dungeon before that.
I haven't bought it because you and GameheadGeek own it.
So,
yeah.
Technically, I got this at the same time you did.
Did you do the Kickstarter?
This isn't a Dammit Dom game for me. This was we were equal. Only 5-Minute Dungeon is what it was.
When I end up owning a copy, then it will be. Yeah.
So, but everybody else, apparently outside this group now, that I've introduced this to has gone out and bought a copy. So, 5-Minute Mystery, just what it sounds like. You have 5 minutes. You're going through cards. You're finding symbols on cards. Every one you match, you get a clue. Every clue is going to lead you to whoever the culprit is. If you find the culprit at the end of 5 minutes, you've won the game. If you don't, you get one guess, and you hope that you get it right. So, that's my number 39, 5-Minute Mystery.
All right, my number 39 is sort of a Dammit Dom game. Sort of. I actually got this version, but he showed me its predecessor, and I did enjoy that one a lot. And this is the second time it's been on this list, as high as 58, so now it's the highest it's ever been. And this is Marvel Remix. It's the Marvel version of Fantasy Realms. My favorite of the 3 games. Don't get the Star Trek one. Whatever you do, just don't. It's not good. It's not fun. The missions are annoying. So for me, but I like this one just because it's a next step over Fantasy Realms, because you have to make sure you have a villain in your hand to win the game. You need to have a villain or a hero in your hand, or a villain and a sidekick, I think is what they're called, or ally. You need to at least have a hero, ally, and one villain in your hand. The problem with the trick with the villains is they're negative points unless you meet their certain requirements. And so that's when they can start scoring for you. I love this game. I think it's fantastic. It's probably climbing up there as one of my most played games, let alone again, another photo case game that I take. We took it on the cruise most recently and had a good time with it. So this is Marvel Remix.
That's using the same as
Fantasy Realms.
Fantasy Realms. So you have to have 10 cards in your hand, and or 7 cards in your hand. You're gonna score them.
Was there another game that Stonemeyer had done with it?
Red Rising.
Red Rising kind of does something like that.
It's the same concept with the playing the cards out though, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know they did a Marvel one of this. That's interesting.
Yeah, I like the Marvel version of it over the Fantasy Realm. I own both. I actually had the Star Trek version too, and I got rid of that real quick because it's not fun.
And they're making a new version, right?
They're making a new version of Fantasy Realms with Greek gods.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The Marvel one would probably still hit harder for me, though.
Probably.
All right. So my number 38 is Raw. And this has been a game that even like the wife really likes this game. So, and I even had upgraded myself to like the Pharaoh edition when they just did their recent Kickstarter. And it is just a great push your luck on it.
Yeah, press your luck.
Yeah, and so, but just getting everything out, collecting things that you need over all the rounds to make sure you get points. Hoping you don't get hosed with all the water that you somehow collected, and then just it all wipes stuff out. I mean, I can't wait for the expansion to come out. I have that one backed, and then they're doing a flip and right or roll and right type setup for it as well. So I also got that with the new Kickstarter they did. So, but that is Raw. Like I said, everything is just amazing on that one. Even if you just get the standard edition, that was still an amazing set.
Yeah, the 25th century version of that is just absolutely stunning.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree.
Fantastic on that.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous game.
All right, line at 38 we are. Okay, so this one is a tile laying and drafting game. I absolutely adore this. It's not pick and pass drafting. No. But the drafting mechanism that it does have is one of the most succinctly elegant game systems I've ever seen. So much that another game used the basics of that for that may be on one of your lists, or maybe even this one might be on one of your lists. This is Quadropolis from Days of Wonder. I love this game. I love that you have 4 tiles. They're number 1 through 4. You place one down. That's how many spaces inward you go. Pick up that tile. Put it in either the 1st through 4th slot on yours. Each of those buildings score in different ways. So satisfying. So brilliant. Beautiful art because Days of Wonder. Great components. Brilliant mechanisms. Quadropolis. This is staying on my list for a long time. If I did previously number 30 and 28. So it just dropped a little bit, but barely.
Nice.
This is one of the most games I wish I need to pick this up. But I remember playing this at the shop, and I was having so much fun until I got done with everything and then scoring, and someone's like, hey, those are the wrong type of things that you needed. And I based my whole scoring off of these 3 pieces or something.
Oh, yeah.
And it just totally hosed me. And I was like, even getting hosed in this, I still want to play this again. I just picked up a copy.
No kidding, right? It's so satisfying.
Yeah, I love that mechanism too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this didn't make my top 100, but I do love this game.
Yeah, it's great. If anything, Meadow might have been on somebody's list, but we'll see, right?
All right, so my number 38 actually is a big surprise that it is this low on the list with as many plays as I have of it, but I didn't play it last year, which was actually a surprise to me when I looked it up. It is also a Marvel game. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be on somebody else's list, but we'll see what happens. And that's Marvel Champions, the card game.
Spoilers, it's not on mine.
It will not be on
It won't
list.
be on mine, sorry. Carry on. It's a fine game.
But to me, it's you get a deck of cards. Each deck of cards feels different, and it feels like you're playing that character in Marvel. You have Wolverine, he feels like Wolverine. You have Cyclops, Cyclops feels like Cyclops. They don't all feel the same. You get Captain America. It's like, okay, well, He's got a special power. I can do this all day. You get to untap him, hit him again. So, it's just the amount of villains that they have, too. It's fun to play them against just different villains. There's a couple I really want to try out that I just haven't gotten to. So, but, that's my number 38, Marvel Champions, the card game.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Quadrupolis did not make my top 100. I do like that game a lot, though. My number 38 is new to my list, and this designer is actually new to my list. It's a fantastic game, and every time I think about it, it's probably going to be a Dammit Danny game, because I really dig
I think I might know what this is, but go on.
And on a sad bit of news as well, this designer just was diagnosed with ALS, so our thoughts and prayers go out to you. And this is Barcelona. I dug this one, and I kept thinking about it every time we stopped playing. Every time I see it in the store.
Not what I thought it was. I'll be honest. I was expecting a different one, but yeah, this is a great game.
No, I enjoyed the mess out of it. And it's just because I love the mechanisms about where you're placing it on the pot or where you're at, and then you could you're getting that cross section basically.
You get the axis
basically a la Targi, if you ever played the 2-player game Targi, where you're getting that cross-section where your character is placing, you're getting those actions, and I love that aspect of it. I love the different point salad tracks that you're doing with, and I like the fact that we all did drastically different stuff, and it was still a very close game, and so I really dug this one. I want to play it some more. I'm probably going to end up getting a copy for myself as well, and this is Barcelona.
I don't think this one made my top 100. It had to be close, though.
So this is a Dom issue.
Aren't they all?
No, not all of them, but this one definitely was, because I always wanted to pick it up, and then you brought this over one day, and me, you, and Daniel played this, and I think at that point, me and Daniel both went and bought the game. And it is Honey Buzz.
I didn't buy the game then. I waited till the Kickstarter and I backed it.
But okay, to say, I think I went and bought it, and then I tried getting onto the Kickstarter to get some of the extra upgrade components. But Honey Buzz, just a phenomenal game of collecting honey, going off different tracks to get extra things, and making sure your honey can do stuff for you. But the worker placement aspect of this is just... It was an amazing game. And even just like the basic components in this are awesome, but when you do upgrade to some of those like the wood coins and stuff like that, it's really cool. But Honey Buzz is my number 37. And again, it's a worker placement game. I am a sucker for worker placement games.
Speaking of games that we're a sucker for, my next one is a Press Your Luck game. And no surprise there, right? My number 37, I've noticed this, out of all of the games, out of all of the sets of 10 that we're going to be talking about, this one has the most like unique mechanisms in it, and I always appreciate when somebody comes up with a new mechanism or a new thing and does it really well. This is the first game on my list that will have card crafting in it, and you can probably see where that is. Mystic Vale, John DeClaire, big John DeClaire fan. Ever since I played this one, I love the Press Your Luck aspect. You're building a deck, but you never get more cards. You're making your cards better. The combo-tastic nature of it is just absolutely fantastic. This is what put him on the radar for me. Space Base is what took it over the radar for me. Like, it's just, I love his designs. So, yeah, I don't want to say much more than that. Mystic Vale, clear cards. AEG did a great job with this.
It's not on my list just because I only played it that one time and have not played it again. So I have to give it a better judgment just because there was an issue the first time we played. So.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, it really should only be like a 30-minute game.
It was not.
Yeah, I know your issue.
I know we've talked about this before, but just for like other people, see if they agree with me on this. I want to play his other games that he came out with, because I feel like in Mystic Vale, yes, kind of trying to build that like best awesome card to play it down. I was like, there's no point in doing that. Like, that's what you want to do, but you don't have to do that. Yeah. And I always feel like it was kind of a waste. But I think you guys have told me that his other one that he did right after Mystic Vale took care of that, where you did want to build those awesome cards, so you got to play him like,
that big.
Hell yeah, that's what I wanted right there.
Edge of Darkness.
Edge of Darkness. Yeah.
Edge of Darkness.
All right,
So,
Damn it, Dom, you're 37.
So my 37
Crossover?
No, it's not a crossover yet. But,
Okay.
but this one might be. Actually, I have a feeling this one might be. This is Battle Yahtzee. So
Battle Yahtzee. Huh?
This is Dice Throne. Dice Throne. I was late to the boat on this one.
Right.
I didn't jump into the second set, and I was like, after I played the first set, because I ended up buying the first set at Barnes and Noble when they had the 6-pack.
Oh,
and, and I tried that, and I was like, how did I miss this?
Yes. Yeah,
because the game is just, it's easy. You're trying to make combos with your dice, and you smack down the other person, but you might think you have this great hit, and then they roll a defense, and you're like, and I do 2 points of damage to you. Or, it'll be,
I love that. It's like, I'm doing 15. 3. Sorry.
So it's fun. Like the different characters, they do feel different, even though you're rolling the dice. Same set of dice. They do feel different. They have different powers. So it just makes it fun. And then of course, looking forward to the X-Men coming out.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll see those soon. And then I'm really looking forward to the Headless Horseman and the one that they just did.
Those look really cool.
They're going to seem like they're going to be really fun. So that's my number 37.
Wow,
Dice Throne.
This is really up there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
All right, number 37 for me is another one that's new to the list. Barcelona, of course, being new to the list recently, as well as this one now. And this one is, I'm a big fan of worker placement. That's like one of my favorite mechanisms of all time. But I also love the Holiday Christmas, and when they reprinted this version in a great version of it, this is Santa's Workshop, 2nd edition. I really dig this game, and I love the fact that it gives you a family side as well as an advanced side. And the component quality just out of the base game is great. I don't know if I'm going to get my expanded components qualities. We'll see what happens there, but other than that, I found this game to be fantastic. I loved everything about it. It's still one of my go-to Christmas games. So once again, 37 is Santa's Workshop 2nd edition.
Oh yeah.
All right. My number 36 is Pitch Cart.
Dexterity, yes.
I mean, you will notice it's like a couple things: worker placement, dexterity games, and push your luck. Kind of my jams. I not only have the base game for Pitch Car, like I really want to get some of those other deals, like the jumps and even the full loop. It's so much fun, and get more cars, because I always have this definitely can play a lot of people, and it's really fun to set it up on the table and then just go at it all night with it. So.
Yeah, good choice, man. Pitch Car is amazing.
Yeah.
If I owned it, it would probably be on my top 100. Honestly, Pitch Car is awesome.
Yeah.
My number 36 was 94 last time and 68 the time before that. Freaking Dice Throne. I mean, it's really
almost a direct crossover.
Almost a direct crossover. Dice Throne is just so good, and the more characters that they come out with,
it slightly more than you do.
I like it just a little bit more. Yeah, but I mean, no, you're right. Every character that they come out with just works. Makes you even more excited to play it more and more. Like you said, Marvel Champions feels like every character is different. Dice Throne hits that same point for me. I love Dice Throne. I do want to clarify though. This Dice Throne is specifically the non-Marvel version. I'm Dice Throne Season 1 or Season 2 re-rolled.
You have the Marvel version too. It's all the same.
I really like those too. I specifically like the unique characters that they came up with. But
yeah, the funny thing about the Dice Throne thing is, though, I don't think I would have got into Dice Throne unless it was for the Marvel when they did it.
Right. And no, that makes perfect sense. I'm clarifying that because that might show up somewhere else. Just in case, Number 36, Dice Throne.
So, my number 36 is a deduction game. As these guys know, I like my deduction games.
You love your deduction games.
So, it is probably not the ones they're actually thinking of. This one...
Fake Artist Goes to New York, huh?
No. This one is The Search for Planet X.
As the one I was going to guess.
Was it? Yeah. Okay. I figured you would have...
Because I think the other deduction game is probably going to be higher on the list.
Yeah.
Might be.
I can think of a few.
Yeah, but
I figured it was going to be this one because that's the one really put deduction for you on your map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, you're out there looking for a planet, and there's rules. This is the closest thing I can compare it to is Sudoku. You have a set of rules that you're playing by. Everybody has these. It's great. It's app assisted, so it generates a new deal every single time, and those rules don't change. So you scan the sky and you look and you go, okay, well, I know this for sure. I think this is this, but you got to be the first person to actually guess what's going on. Now, it helps to be the first person, but there's a second way to win the game, which is if you identify everything else in the sky before everybody else, then you start to get, because it reveals information later as it goes down the track, because you're basically betting like, oh yeah, this is this. It'll get you more points the further down the track you are. So if you're the first person, you're going to get a lot more points.
Yep.
When you say, like, this is a comet. I know this is a comet. But that also, when we flip it over, that tells everybody else, if it's right, that's a comet. So now everybody else has more information to be able to figure out where that planet is. So, for me, so this is the one that actually put deduction on the map for me, the search for Planet X.
And app-driven, too.
Yes.
No less. Wow.
All right, so my number... Go ahead.
Have you played that, Danny?
Me? Yeah.
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 Okay. Well, because I remember the only time I played it was just with you two.
Yeah.
So I just wasn't sure if Danny had played it yet or not.
Yeah, I played it in a previous time at your place, actually.
Yeah,
And,
he showed it to Danny before he showed it to us.
I remember you absolutely trounced us. So, yeah, it was interesting.
I ended up winning when we played.
Yeah,
Because I found Planet X.
Yeah.
There's a shot in the dark,
I
too.
just couldn't deduce. That's all I couldn't do.
All right, my number 36 is by far this designer's highest game on my list. It's the second time it's been on my top 100. It was 45 last time, and it just keeps climbing for me. I want to get it played with the expansion. This is the great Dr. Rainer Knizia. This is Mille Fiori. I love this game.
Wow.
I love the point salad aspect of it.
Never thought I'd hear him say that.
I love the point salad aspect of it. I love the card drafting aspect of it. I really like the fact that I can play over here with all the spices while everybody else is playing over in the ships and stuff like that. I find this fantastic. I do have the expansion that I want to get played. This thing is it is fantastic. And it's my creme de la creme when it comes to Rainer Knizia. In fact, I think this is the only Knizia in my entirety of the top 100.
Probably. Cool. All right, on to our number 35.
35. This was literally a movie in a box for me. And this is Back to the Future, Back in Time.
Ooh.
This cooperative game, I mean, it just every aspect in this just felt like you're playing the movie. And a lot of times when you get IPs, you're like, oh, okay, like the Indiana Jones game. Don't get me wrong, that's a great game. I don't really feel like I'm Indiana Jones, like playing as that, but in this, I really felt like Back to the Future as you try to get them to fall in love, like things come off and the picture starts to disappear or reappear, that type of stuff. And the components on this, because this was I want to say Phil Walker Hard, but that's not it. It is
Prospero Hall.
Yeah, Prospero.
Prospero Hall
It's
game.
Funko, though.
Yeah. And this was when Target first started making all these games, and I feel like they hit this one out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Back to the Future.
Good choice.
So.
Very good game. My number 35 is a Spiel des Jahres winner, previously 38 and 40, so it's just climbed a little bit every single time. And I haven't even played it like much since the first time I ranked it, but yet I just have such fond memories, and we've even referenced it on the podcast many a times. This is a train game of the German postal system. Very specific. I wish that they made a USA version of this, just so people could enjoy it like the same way we do. This is turning taxis, hard to find, but oh my god, I love this game. There's a little bit of press your luck, there's some area control, there's just different ways that you can kind of go build this bigger route, get more points, get a bigger caravan, and then like you lose out because you just can't play anything. You're like, oh, I lost it all. because that's how the postal system works in Germany, and it's absolutely fantastic. I love this game. Turning Taxis.
Didn't they just make a big box of this?
I have no idea.
I have no.
If they do, I'm gonna buy it because it's a fantastic game.
For some reason, I think
have you played this one yet?
Yes,
Yeah, he played it with us.
Okay, cool. But GameheadGeek, I don't think you played it, right? Yeah, I need to fix that.
So, my number 35 is a game that actually I've owned for a very long time, before I really started in the modern hobby. So...
Oh, Monopoly, huh?
No.
I'm sorry, I'm stopping. I'll stop that. That's enough of that.
Well, I do own a couple of copies of Monopoly. There are themed editions. But this one actually was MechWarrior: The Dark Ages. So it's actually a tabletop war game. Yeah, I
didn't know you're the bigger fan of war games as much as like that.
It was the MechWarrior actually that did it for me.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, it's a tabletop war game. You grab your minis and you go out there. You fight each other. Whoever, you throw some dice. Whoever wins, and it's real simple. There's not there's not a lot. It's literally head-to-head dice rolling, and that's it. And it honestly, it reminded me a lot of one of the games I played as a kid growing up, and that was Risk. So, but it was just a fun game, and it stayed there, and I still have all my stuff for it. So I was looking at my shelf, going like, nope, that's one of those games that's just, hey. MechWarrior: The Dark Ages. Need to get it back out.
It doesn't matter how good or bad it is, right?
Yeah.
It hits that special part for you. Yeah. I hear you on that one.
All right, my number 35 is another one that's new to the list here. And honestly, I'm surprised it made it this far, but I'm not because it drips theme. And it's worker placement at that as well. And if you just peek behind Dammit Dom's head over there, it's sitting on my shelf. It's Rock Hard 1977.
Whoa.
I dig this game a lot. Especially...
I played this after I did my list. I don't think I would have got it, but it's up there.
I find that, like I said, this thing just drips theme. You're basically trying to be a lead singer in a rock band in the 1970s, and you have candy that helps you get through all this stuff, and you have to go throughout the day. You got to make sure you hit your day job to make your money, but at one point you have to get rid of that job for you can make these concerts and stuff like that. So I adore the mess out of this game. I find it fantastic, especially since you only have one worker and you're going throughout the day with that one worker. It is fantastic. I really do dig this game. So that is Rock Hard 1977.
Good choice.
I need to play this. All right, my 34. Pretty sure I'm the only one that likes this game. Out of this group, my other friend group definitely likes this one. Is Jamaica.
Hold on, sir. I own Jamaica, and I like it quite a bit.
I'm good.
Yeah, Jamaica's cool. I agree with this.
So,
Never played it.
It is a fun racing game, and then when you line up with somebody and you get to fight them, that fighting dice, especially if you roll the star on it, and you just they don't even get to roll. It's just they instantly lose.
Yeah.
It's so much fun, and then going and hitting all the skeletons along the way, the secret coves. So you can get special stuff like swords that help you fight, or an extra slot to hold goods and stuff in your ship. And I think one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a game, where if you line up all your cards, it makes this really cool mural. I thought that was just. It's not even something that it deals with anything in the game. It's just a very cool concept that if you discover it, and you're just wow, that's actually really cool artwork. So. Jamaica is my 34.
Yeah, it's probably one of the few Cathala games I'm just not a fan of.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I've had my copy for a long time. I like it a lot, so. I don't blame you for assuming that I wouldn't like it, but I somehow do.
Well, again, no accounting for taste when it comes to you.
That was his pick. GameheadGeek, you're going to take that? He's throwing you under the bus like that. How dare you?
He pushes everybody under the bus.
That's true. It's a big bus. So my number 34 was number 18 last time, 27 before that. This is just a dry, dusty Euro, but this really put Emerson Matsuuchi on on point for me.
Did we just talk about this?
What?
This game, the specific one for Emerson Matsuchi here?
Probably.
You compared it to another game?
Speaking of lining things up to make a mural, the cover of Century Spice Road does that. Beautiful components. I mean, yeah, it's Dread Dusty Euro. You can play the Golem edition, same thing, but it with like more fantasy art, right, Golems. But God, I love how simple it is. Either play a card, take a card, buy a caravan, or take your cards back. I just taught you the game, like seriously. And it's all about conversions. It does really cool things, and it's so elegant that it's only on a single card. That back and front, that's all the rules are. I love how simple that is, and how it's compatible with the sequels that are also pretty simple as well. Century Spice Road, brilliant game. My number 34.
All right, my number 34. Speaking of murals, we got a theme this time apparently. So, but this one is making a theme park, and the cards line up to make a mural. But yeah, a lot of people say they don't like it, but the rule book, they tell you it's unfair.
I knew it was this one.
So I really like unfair. I mean, because you don't have to be mean, and a lot of the cards that people consider mean, you can use for a benefit for yourself or to slow somebody else down. So if somebody's running away with the game, you're just like, no, that's okay. You're going to slow it down a little bit.
Yep.
But you got to make that choice of like, hey, do I want to use this for myself, or do I need to slow them down? And it's one of those great games. You build your big attraction, you try to get people in, and if you collect all the rides of the same attraction, it makes a nice little mural on your tableau, and it's just a fun game that I just keep coming back to, and I like the fact that they keep adding stuff. You can play with kaijus, you can play with robots, whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Not? Yeah.
So it's fun, and it looks like they have expansions planned for every letter of the alphabet. So
I did enjoy a play of it.
So
Nice.
Yep. Good choice.
All right, my number 34 is a designer crossover exactly in this number with my good buddy over here, GameheadGeek. But this is one of my favorite games from this designer here. Speaking of water, this is dealing with water as well. Bruno Cathala's Undersea. This is Abyss. I dug this one. This is the third time it's on this list. Originally landed on the list at 67. It climbed to 51 last time, and now it's climbing to 34. It's just because I get it to the table a lot more often now. I've played it 2 or 3 times last year, and I've been enjoying the mess out of this. It is... I love all the choices in it. I know you're not a huge fan of this game. I think you're the outlier in this group.
Oh yeah, I am. I just it doesn't work for me. I don't know.
I have this smaller version of it as well. I think it's also in later rounds here, not higher up, but I still enjoy it. I need to play that other one a little bit more. This is Conspiracy one, but this one it keeps hitting the table. I just got the newest expansion from it that has like the Outcast Lords, the Profundis or whatever it's called. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm glad the fact that Pandasaurus has picked it up, making it easier, more accessible for an American audience. So yeah, this is Abyss 34.
Still one of the coolest, everything I remember with this with the collector boxes you could get when it first came out, because it was the same game, but it was 4 different.
5. It was 5 different.
Was it 5?
It was 5.
Yeah. Each of the lords.
Each of the lords. Yep.
Although, true story, they don't make a mural by putting them next to each other. It's a shame.
All right, my number 33, and this is a specific version of this, which I know you can't find anymore, is Ticket to Ride 10th Anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
And Don back there is like, because that is one of the games he definitely wants to pick up.
It's really nice.
This is what I call my snow or rainy day game. And the fact that it's the 10th anniversary, so it's a bigger board, just takes up the whole table. Yep. And it's just, it is a true classic, and it's still being sold in Walmart and stuff for a reason.
Not the 10th anniversary, the base game.
Not the 10th anniversary, but just Ticket to Ride in general. Because it's so simplistic to play. You can be mean in it. I mean, you could be really mean where people are throwing tables and stuff like that. So, but Ticket to Ride is my number 33.
You and me need to stop fighting with each other for routes and block my wife because she keeps kicking our butt in this game.
That's never going to happen. Because you have to live with her, and I'm not going to go after her because I know better than that. So that's never going to happen.
My number 33 is another Phil Walker Harding game. Previously, it was numbered 195 and not on the last list before that. And apparently, I must have some really fond memories on it when I was doing my ranking because this is Gingerbread House. And I know I've played it again since like a few times since I think it only barely missed out on my list the last time we did this a couple years ago because I had just gotten it, and I was like, I'm not really sure where it lays or anything. But having played another game of his, Llama Land, it makes me appreciate Gingerbread House as well, just because of how you have to lay out your tiles, how you have the stairways that build up the house, the combos that you can do by getting the resources, by putting out those domino tiles, and just basically buying up the cards for points. And I like how they have different little abilities on it. The extra tokens are super cool. And the pieces are just fantastic. The super thick domino tiles. I think they did a fantastic job with it. Gingerbread House, Phil Walker Harding, my number 33.
Nice. No, that is a great game.
Yeah.
So
why it's there.
Yeah. My number 33 is a game GameheadGeek got me for Christmas.
Wait, this most recent Christmas?
No.
Okay.
No,
I was about to say, like, whoa!
This is last Christmas.
2 months ago?
And it's one of his favorite games. That would be Daniel.
So it's not a crossover from me.
I mean, you might be, but I think you were okay with it, at the very least.
Okay.
This is Western Legends.
Oh, yeah. Western Legends is cool.
So, no, love the sandbox style. It's fun because you can go out and do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You do what you want. You either score points or you score points being good. You score points being bad. It doesn't matter. You want to hold up the train. You hold up the train. You want to
be the sheriff and capture him.
Yep, you're the sheriff.
I'm pretty sure I was the poker man. Like,
yeah. Or you can do what this guy does. Over here, play poker.
Gamble and win.
So, yeah. It's a great game. And that's just the base game. When you get into the expansions, they do make it even better because there's more things you can do.
You can rob a train.
Yeah. It's just flat out pure fun and chaos because nobody's doing the same thing. And then you're like, well, if I go over there and I go ahead and shoot him and take his money, it's all right. But yeah,
his money becomes my
money. So, but yeah, that is Western Legends.
That's a good pick. Very good choice.
All right, my number 33 is probably going to be higher on someone else's list, and this is a Dammit Dom game right here. I don't know if it's going to be high on your list. I think you like it, but I don't know where it would fall on your list. And this is a Kinderspiel winner, or at least, I think it is a Kinderspiel winner, but I think it's at least a nominee. This is Lost Ruins of Arnak. Originally was number 30 on my list. It just dropped slightly, so it's relatively in the same spot. I love everything about it. I love the mechanism combo of the worker placement meets deck building, which are two of my favorite mechanics or mechanisms. But I really love it because of that first expansion where it gave you variability of how you play the game. It gave you asymmetrical powers in a sense. I've loved the mess out of it since then. It's actually originally knocked Dune out of my top 10 or whatever, Dune Imperium, because it does everything that Dune Imperium does and a lot quicker too, and you get more points out of it. But also when you got those asymmetric powers, it gave you what Dune didn't, or Lost Ruins of Arnak did not have, and what I liked about Dune, the asymmetric powers. So this one is a fantastic game. I love everything about it, and you're going to see it higher on someone else's list.
Did I forget that one?
All right. My number 32. This was definitely something I picked up this last year because they did a reprint, and that is The Quest for El Dorado. This definitely was something that, I mean, everybody always talked about how good it was, but when they reprinted it and made it bigger boards and stuff like that, it was, I think I played the mess out of this with you guys, the family, all sorts. So this one got quite a bit of play as soon as I got it because of how easy it was to just play and keep going with it. So, the Quest for El Dorado is my number 32.
Very cool. Reiner Knizia, deck builder. Great stuff. My number 32, talk about consistently. Last year was 33. Or not last year, last time we did this, a couple years ago. And before that, it was number 38.
Oh, so it's staying in the same range.
Staying just about the same. And this is proof that I already like Press Your Luck games, but putting it in a cooperative setting makes it so good. Press Your Luck dice rolling. Do you guys know what this one is?
Can't Stop?
No.
Press Your Luck dice rolling.
It's cooperative.
Oh.
Yes. The cooperative nature of this makes it just bar none so intense because you want to go for more.
Oh, this is Firesides, Hot Shots.
Hot Shots. Yeah. Oh my god. Great theme. Absolute chaos. I remember from the day I saw Justin DeWitt, friend of the podcast, do the presentation of it live, talking about it at the Gamma Expo. He is like, yeah, that, like, you can imagine these numbers that are on the tiles. The bigger the number, the more fire it needs for it to burn down. Yes, that is a propane tank, and yes, that number is 2. Good luck! It's just so hilarious. Because when that thing blows up, all those red arrows just shoot fire. So intense. Each of the vehicles have different abilities. Characters have different abilities, but if their base gets scorched and they can't use the abilities anymore, you want to go for pressing your luck. You want to make it better. You want to do even more every time. I'm sad that this game flew under the radar for a lot of people, but I think there's plans for them to eventually reprint it, and when they do, I hope people just jump on that bandwagon because it's so good. It shouldn't be as good as it is, but it's so good. Hot Shots, love it.
All right, my number 32 is a game that I'm pretty sure it's not going to show up on many people's list, but a similar game will show up on their list. But this one, you got hand of cards, and you get to play them out. This one is, but there's also...
But there's a but?
There's a but, yeah.
But some things?
But, maybe. No.
Maybe. No.
So, but you also have extra cards that you're able to use powers on. This is Aquatica. I think a different game is going to show up on people's list for this one, but this one really works for me. Where it's a simple game. You go out, you play your card out, you get so many points, you take it, you take a card from the middle, either a character card or a ocean card, and you get extra bonuses on the ocean cards, and you play either till the deck runs out, or somebody manages to get, I think it's 4 or 5 treasures banked.
Some of it.
Oh, no, sorry. It's the 4, you get all 4 mantas out.
Yeah.
And once you're done with that, everybody gets one more turn. Game's over, and score it up. It's simple. It's quick. It's one of those games that came over that was like, wow, I really like this game. So that's my number 32, Aquatica.
It's 125 for me.
I won't talk about anything. It's not going to be in the episodes we're recording, just so you know. It's further back. But my number 32 is a game that I finally got a show to Dammit Dom not too long ago, and me and GameheadGeek was playing this for a little bit before COVID happened. It's been consistently on my list. The first time it entered the list at 33, it dropped to 47, it's back up to 32, and this is Arkham Horror, the card game. It's still by far one of my favorite solo games. I play the mess out of it. I'm about halfway through the Dunwich Legacy. I went all through the main campaign. I like it at most with 2 players. I will not play it at a 3 or 4 player game. Just because you want those quick, snappy turns in this one. You don't want to get bogged down with how things go. And I love the cycles and what the stories they're telling with this one. So I enjoy the mess out of the Arkham Horror card game. My number 32.
All right. This is a Danny game that he kept telling me I can't. I mean, since the day that I went and started playing games at the shop, He always told me, you need to try this game, you need to try this game. And then I finally bought the reprint of this game, and they just did a game bound for this, and that is Puerto Rico. This is the edition Puerto Rico 1897, so they took out the slaves and just have workers. And I am super excited that I picked this up on GameFound because I love the mess out of, like, when we played this, I was like, I'm mad at myself that I haven't played this sooner because it is an amazing game and it is a lot of fun. So that is Puerto Rico.
I'm so glad I finally drilled that in your head to get that game. You're welcome, sir. My number 31 is a game that I haven't played in about 3 years now. It is a campaign game. It was previously at 79 and then 52 before that. This one climbed up just because we finished the campaign, a couple years ago, and we were able to get through the last of it, and it's just super memorable moments. I want to try the newer versions of it. This is Time Stories. Man, such a happy memory about this. I mean, even though some scenarios weren't as good as others, some of them were still better than a lot of people say they were. The first 3 specifically were just fun. And Time Stories, it's one of those ones where it's a console in a box. So, really, I hope more people get a chance to play it. Trudge through the 4th and 5th or whatever. There's a couple, in the middle there that's, it's a little tough to get through. But once you get past it, the ending is decent. But yeah, I love it. Time Stories, so cool. I can't talk too much about it because it's super spoily. But yeah, I mean, you're basically time cop, right? You're going back in time, quantum leap style, jumping into the bodies of the people that are living out those scenarios, or alternate history, whatever you want to call it, and trying to solve the mystery of what's causing the time shift. Super neat, overarching story. Time Stories, fantastic. That's my 31 and last one of today's episode.
All right, so my 31 is an open drafting game. One I think Danny likes, but not sure where he actually sits on it. But it is also tile laying. So this is King Domino. So this game, I mean, it's a simple game.
Spiel winner.
It's a spiel winner. Yeah, a simple game. You're just lining up your territories and scoring as many points as you can on a 5x5 grid. If you're playing with more than 2 players, if you're playing with 2 players, it's a 7x7 grid. It makes it fun. You look at it and you go, how am I going to do this? And, it's simple. It's spaces times the number of crowns you have on them to get your points. So you might want to go for a bunch of water spaces, or you might want to go for the gold mines because they have more crowns. But there's far fewer of them. And the other great thing is when you add in the expansion, you can start sending giants over to people's lands and saying, you're not getting any crowns for that.
Right.
And they have to figure out a way to move them off that to score the points at the end of the game.
It's so shenanigans.
So, yeah, it's just one of those games that it keeps coming back to the table, and that's King Domino.
Cool. Good choice.
All right, my 31 is new to the list. I just recently showed it to this entire group about it, but it's one I've been playing since probably November, something like that. I actually took it to my family up during the Christmas break, and I had a great time with it. It's a gut-busting, laugh riot game to the point where it's not even your style of game, and you were giggling about everything.
31 already.
Yeah, because it hits so well. And it's just because of what you have to do. It's called Caution Signs. It's a fantastic game. I like the fact of it because it gives you silly things like you have to put like a grumpy goose or whatever. Yeah. I kept getting, for some reason, all the bird cards when we played it.
Like a fucking fire movie.
Yeah. So it has so much, and the fact that I can take it to my mother-in-law's house and play it with non-gamers and it has a great time. I can play it with a group of gamers, and someone over here was giggling every time he got something funny. He's like, okay, how am I going to draw this? And the fact that you only have 20 seconds, so you have to be like, oh, God. And then someone says, oh, you guys got 10 seconds left. What? No! That kind of stuff. It lends itself. Yeah. It lends itself to such good, fantastic time. It's a fun little party game. Caution Signs, my number 31.
Is that a sock puppet?
Oh, man. So, were there any surprises for you guys? What do you guys think?
I'm surprised. I'm with you. I didn't think caution signs would get up that far, but
that's impressive. That's a big surprise. Yeah, I knew you liked it, but number 31.
Yeah. Anything for you, Gamehead?
Not really. I mean, other than what I had already said. But I mean, like I said, just the whole thing on Pub People itself. Some of these I thought would be in different spots, and they are not. So I was like, okay. So
that makes sense.
All right, close us out.
All right. So, we want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you ever want to email us directly, whether it's to contact us for contests, say hello, or give us ideas for future episodes, we have an email, everydayboardgames2020@gmail.com. Also, we have an Instagram, instagram.com/everydayboardgames, and you can see all of the silly shenanigans that we post on that page.
As well as all video re-uploads and reviews are found on youtube.com under Everyday Board Games. And if you like what we do, there are 3 things you can do to help us grow on that platform. Subscribe if you're not, like the video, and comment down below and tell us your thoughts on the subject.
We also stream our episodes live at twitch.tv/everydayboardgames, where you can join in on the conversation, tell us your thoughts on whatever we're talking about, or even join in on the debates for our top 8 debates. Super fun. We love our guests. And again, twitch.tv/everydayboardgames. Please subscribe or follow us on there to get notified when we turn live.
All audio versions can be found on most podcast platforms under Everyday Board Games Podcast. This includes Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, and Apple.
So as always, I've been your host, Daniel.
And I've been your host, Daniel.
I'm Dammit Tom.
And I'm Gamehead
So we're going to thank you so much for tuning in. I messed up that ending, didn't I?
All the time.
All the time. Thank you so much.
All the time.
Just wrap it up. As always, I've been your host, Daniel.
And I've been your host, Daniel.
Thank you for listening to Everyday Board Games.
And remember, every day's a good day for board gaming.